What cheer, y'all? Well, let's continue on with our Belmont contender profiles and talk about Heart of Honor, the British import, previously noted as Japanese, but corrected. Thank you. So, this is one that was second in the UAE Derby behind Admire Daytona, who didn't fare terribly well in the Derby. Heart of Honor skipped the Derby to go on to the Preakness, and I suppose ran an okay fifth, but really more of a suck up. Really wasn't much of a factor, and was pretty unruly early on in the race, very fractious and whatnot. And you have to wonder if maybe it was the crowd, maybe it was the surroundings. So I don't know that it was a terribly foreboding race positively for the Belmont based upon what we saw in the Preakness. Looking at the pedigree, that's not going to be a problem. Being by Honor AP, who fared very well in the Kentucky Derby, nearly won it. And you see Scat Daddy Mare underneath. Scat Daddy not known to be a damn sire, a great one, but we certainly know what he's done as a sire. The Conduit Mare profile, it is skewed a little more towards speed, but this one's run enough at two-turn distances to make me believe that I don't think it's going to be a problem. And it does harken back to something that we often say, when we talk about the Kentucky Derby. Can they get the mile and a quarter? The answer is for every horse in the Kentucky Derby, yes, they can get it. The question is, can they get it fast enough to win, and can they do it comfortably? Is really the issue. Now, Heart of Honor looks to be a horse that, from the efforts that I've seen in the Preakness or the UAE Derby, the distance really isn't the issue. The issue is how fast can this horse run, and can he compete at this class level? And that those are really the big issues. Looking at the running lines, you're not going to be able to tell a whole lot from the early races, except you can go back and watch the UAE Derby. And that was a race that really isn't flattered terribly well, obviously, because Admire Daytona did so poorly in the Kentucky Derby. The thing that was especially troubling to me is I liked Heart of Honor in that race. And he really had every chance to win that race in the stretch. He was right up with Admire Daytona. Then he fell back a little bit. Then he re-rallied with a huge close, but he just couldn't get by. And it made me kind of wonder about maybe it's the herd mentality. There were a lot of things that came into my mind, especially when you see all 3 seconds in a row. And of the 7 starts this horse has had, he's had 4. Generally, what happens when horses have that type of herd mentality, or they're a social runner or seconditis, whatever you want to call it, the higher they go in class, the worse they perform. Because, obviously, the better the horses are running, if they have kind of the herd mentality, well, where are they going to go? They're going to follow from the back because they're not supposed to be up amongst the better horses. I'm not so sure that Heart of Honor fits that category, but you do have to wonder about it a little bit when you see that type of record. Regardless, the Preakness was, the horse really never factored in the race. We all know what was going on in the front end, and just really didn't, you see the notes fractious, off, slow, wide. Well, you see, you look at the running lines, eighth, ninth was last or near last all the way through, and then kind of got to suck up fifth when a couple other horses were backing up. So, not a very good impression, I think. And really, what it comes down to, if we have to pinpoint one thing more than anything, it's class. And this horse just doesn't appear to be in the class with the better runners of the 3-year-olds in these states. So we'll look at our first take. The positives are this horse is a competitor. When you've been in the money 6 out of 7 starts, I mean, this horse likes to fight. But everybody, has a wall, and this one may have hit it class-wise, where it just can't really compete. Stamina, I mean, I do think this horse can get the distance. Has been proven enough at it. will keep running. The problem is in this Belmont field that they're all going to keep running for the most part, and so this would probably, the one potential advantage Heart of Honor might have really isn't going to be there, and so that's it could make for a really difficult race for Heart of Honor. The negatives, I don't think this horse is in the class. Certainly not in the class with the big three, the Journalism, Baeza, and Sovereignty. But I just don't think this horse is good enough, and consequently isn't fast enough. And the running style really is a big problem when you consider you've Rodriguez is probably going to be the lone speed, which usually isn't very good for closers. And Saratoga generally plays to early speed. It's a little fairer than you might find at, say, Gulfstream or Tampa or Santa Anita. I mean, you can win from behind. It probably more like Churchill Downs. I mean, Churchill Downs to me is a pretty fair track. You can win from the front end, you can win from the rear, you can win from stalking. But it does favor a little bit more towards speed. So, all that said, I don't think this is a very favorable situation for Heart of Honor, and I wouldn't be on this horse at all. So, I hope this helps you with your own assessment of Heart of Honor going into the Belmont. And certainly, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. Thanks again to all of you who continue to grow our community. And keep up the comments. We've had a couple of Belmont profiles out. We've already got you guys chiming in. I appreciate it. Keep it up. It makes for a good community. It helps all of us for sure. So we're going to have a ton of comment, obviously, for the Belmont. We will have profiles on all the competitors. We will have an individual posting on the Belmont where we'll go through as much analysis as we can do. And as I've said, probably ad nauseum, I'm a little pressed for time, so we will do as much as we can. Probably not a thorough elements of handicapping, but we can couch that. If we can't do it, the fact that we know these horses pretty well at this point should allow us to be a little brief in our analysis, but we will still cover them thoroughly. We'll do best bets, value plays for the full card on Saturday. And we'll do as many individual postings for the stakes races. There's obviously going to be a lot of good ones. I know a lot of people want to see the Met Mile, and me too. And that looks like a really pretty damn good field. So, a lot of stuff coming up ahead. So, stay tuned for that. That's it from here. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, be well.